You know, as long as they've both been on the scene, that neither Jonathan Gresham or Davey Richards have crossed paths. At least that's what they told me before we put this match together. Denver, Colorado, the man, not the place, calling the action here. Featuring some more matches from the second St. Louis Sleeper Cell. The bell has sounded, the match is officially underway for the first time ever. One-on-one, Jonathan Gresham versus Davey Richards. Of course, Jonathan Gresham, a very accomplished technical wrestler. His ability has taken him all over the world. To parts of the world, I didn't even know they had wrestling. And any time that we have the opportunity to feature his work here in Beyond Wrestling, it is a treat. But tying up with Davey Richards, who's headed towards Orlando, making his perhaps final appearance ever for Beyond Wrestling, and his first since Back in Flesh, where he competed against both Johnny Gargano in their first ever meeting, and Johnny Mangway. Of course, Davey Richards, a former Ring of Honor World Champion. Jonathan Gresham has not had that type of success domestically, and I feel like oftentimes he is overlooked. But I would go so far as to argue that Jonathan Gresham is the more accomplished of the two internationally. Both of these two, so impressive. And evenly matched in a lot of aspects. Both have that technical prowess, that knowledge of scientific wrestling. Both are very well conditioned. Davey Richards is the taller of the two competitors coming into this match, although you have to wonder how that's going to affect his strategy, as he normally comes into these contests outsized by his opponent. Gresham, on the other hand, is used to fighting up. Right here is both of these two competitors are showing off their technical ability in this first time ever encounter. Can't say that I'm surprised that there's somewhat of a feeling out process, trying to evaluate not only the physical but also the mental strengths and weaknesses of their opponent. Davey Richards seems as though he's targeted the left arm of Jonathan Gresham. Every move he's made so far in this match. You're going to wonder if that's going to play into a long-term strategy or if it's just the opening that he's been able to create for himself in this moment. But Gresham wrestling circles around Davey Richards, and as soon as he got him to the mat, Richards had that side headlock applied, and Gresham was quick to find a counter. These two wrestlers circling each other. And what a treat for the wrestlers here at Dynamo Pro School to see this match live. This is the first time that Davey Richards is competing in a Beyond Wrestling studio taping setting. You're almost going to wonder if Jonathan Gresham thought that Richards was going to shake his hand, and Richards, the veteran, suckered him in. And just like that, staying one step ahead of his opponent. Gresham was prepared to block and counter a strike. Instead, Richards went low and took the legs out from underneath his opponent. Smart thinking out of Davey Richards. It looked like Gresham might have flipped him around into a pinning predicament. Richards put on the brakes without breaking contact, applying a different hold. He's got those legs tied up. And again, seamlessly transitioning into a front face lock. Gresham gets Richard over to the ropes. You're going to see a clean break. Here comes the official. Only a 1 count. Jonathan Gresham with that drop toe hold while keeping contact with the left leg. Now pulling away at the ankle of the right. It's going to make it hard for Richards to find an escape because his legs are tangled up. Really wrenching away at the ankle by pulling the foot in this position, can be doing damage to the knee as well. You saw Gresham put his left foot at the base of Richards' knee to try and keep him in position. Richards going for the head. But Gresham keeping Richards in place with his feet once again. Jonathan Gresham is a very strong competitor. Now just driving his knees into the back of Davey Richards to apply more pressure, perhaps hyperextend those legs. Now he's got his knees in the back of Davey Richards. Counting down, gonna think he's gonna be able to do that bow and arrow. But made a mistake right there. He telegraphed it. Richards right into the pin. Only good for a 1 count. As Gresham kicks out, Richards has that front facelock applied. You see him favoring his back. But again, going after that left arm. Perhaps looking to weaken it up for a Kimura lock later on in the match if the opportunity presents itself. But right now, he's got that hammerlock applied. Spins Gresham around, positions him right in the center of the ring. Now just making his opponent carry his weight. A maneuver like this is not going to get you the victory, but it's going to allow him to keep his opponent subdued while he can plan his next course of action. And unsurprisingly, that strategy includes going right back to the arm of Jonathan Gresham.
Hey, come on now.
Grinding his knuckles into the abdomen. And as Gresham goes to find a counter, he made a mistake right there. Turned over onto his belly. Davey Richards still favoring his back right here, having a bit of trouble getting this cloverleaf variation applied. And while the point of contact is the legs, look at the way he's pulling away at the left arm. Gresham again trying to find a counter. Davey Richards rolled him over to a pin, but as Gresham kicked out, he couldn't keep the hold applied. Richards smarter than charging in right there. He could have made a mistake. Little over 5 minutes into this matchup, you can see the signs of damage on both these competitors. They're wearing each other down. How smart was that? How often do you see that? Jonathan Gresham with the drop toe hold kept Richards' left leg pinned between his. Was able to put him in a position where not only does he have the right leg trapped to the mat, now just driving again and again and again the knee of Davey Richards. But Richards now changing up his strategy, going after the legs of Jonathan Gresham. Gresham didn't see that coming while he was trying to get to the ropes. Oh, Davey Richards just torquing that knee. Using Gresham's own leg as a weapon. And now Davey Richards has been targeting the arm of Jonathan Gresham for this entire match, has created a new opening for himself. With the trailer hitch applied, a variation of an Indian deadlock, where he's applying pressure on Gresham's leg, using his own. Now switching it up, just driving. At the point of the knee, at the point of the ankle. Similar to a hold that we saw Gresham utilize earlier in the contest. As Richards once again, grinding his fist into the abdomen. He's got a hold of those arms. Oh, but he couldn't keep the hold applied. Gresham having to kick out. He's being twisted up like a pretzel. And once again, the complexion of this match changes. Gresham realizing that he cannot best Davey Richards on the mat. At least not right here, not right now. And these two are teeing off. The WWA 4 guys all have that signature way of throwing strikes, very heavy-handed. But Davey Richards is renowned for his kicks. He caught Gresham off guard right there with that headbutt. Now the physicality increases as he slams Gresham down with that backdrop suplex. Into the pin. But Gresham very aggressively bridging out. Showing Davey Richards that he's still got some fight left in him. Now it looks like Richards, I'm not sure if he's going to the beard or going for the mouth. Difficult to tell from my vantage point. But eliciting a 5 count from the official, and again, risking disqualification and raising the ire of the other wrestlers on ringside. Gonna give Gresham credit right here, though. He's gonna do the best that he can to keep his cool, because once you get frustrated, that's when you start making mistakes. And Gresham now able to take the legs out from underneath Davey Richards. Not sure if he's gonna be strong enough to get him over. And look at this, Richards now applying a hold to the right arm. He's got it trapped. Trying to pull away at the left. Is he looking for a submission? Is he looking for a pin? Instead going to that front facelock. And as Gresham looks for a counter, Richards brings him down with that neck breaker. We've seen the arms, the back, the legs, and now the neck of Jonathan Gresham targeted as Davey Richards looks to dismantle his opponent limb from limb. Gresham trying to fight back up. And instead of Looking to target the midsection, instead doing damage to the did damage to the fingers of Davey Richards. Easy for me to say. Again, go back to the striking game. I don't know if Jonathan Gresham, as underrated as a striker as he is, can best Davey Richards in this department. I really don't know. Oh, and a moment of hesitation out of Davey Richards. That cost him. Gresham hit him with that headbutt. Signaling for a clothesline. Had a counter for the alarm clock and took him down with that dragon screw leg whip. Again, Jonathan Gresham, he's a student of the game. He's so smart. He eats, sleeps, and breathes wrestling. You can wonder right here if Davey Richards could be seriously hurt. He's asking the official to try and pull on his leg. You could wonder if he dislocated that kneecap. He brought himself back up to the corner. He said he was going to continue to fight, hobbling across the ring. He can hardly defend himself right here. On instinct alone, had a reversal of the Irish whip, and maybe he just suckered Gresham in. Caught him with the sawbutt. Caught him with a kick to the top of the head, and as he was looking to conclude that combination, Gresham just headbutted him right in the face. Gresham looking for a backdrop suplex. Davey's behind him. Now looking for that single crab, one of the most dangerous moves in all of professional wrestling. That's the move that Chuck Taylor used to defeat Bryan Danielson at King of Trios. He's got that half crab applied. The only drawback of the holds, it makes it that much more easier for your opponent to get to the ropes because your weight is on their knee, not their entire body. One in exchange from two of the very best athletes in all of professional wrestling. Davey Richards, poised for greatness, perhaps more immediately with what he's got on the horizon. But Jonathan Gresham is a competitor that should be held in that same regard. I think he's proven it here today. And look at that. Couldn't get out of the waistlock, so he kicked Richards in the bad leg. Oh, but didn't have a counter for the alarm clock that time. And taking over with that snap brain buster. Richards going to the pin. 1, 2. And as Gresham kicks out right in the Border City stretch. Richards looking for submission here. A hold like this targeting both the arm and the neck. Really wrenching away. Is Gresham going to give it up? Gresham doing the best that he can to get over the ropes. Richards got the hold applied. And Gresham finally able to get his foot just draped over that bottom rope. And Richards collapsed right there. He couldn't capitalize. The official again checking on him. And it's incredible what the human body is capable of when that adrenaline is pumping. Who knows the severity of the injury coming out of this match. But nevertheless, Davey Richards is going to continue the fight. That snap brain buster. And now this could be a mistake right here as Davey Richards is poised to fly. Gonna wonder if he's looking for a double stomp, perhaps a flying headbutt. Gresham hasn't moved. Richards was looking for the double stomp, able to roll through to avoid some of the impact. And Gresham getting underneath him. With the single crab applied. Doesn't have the positioning that he needs. Now the inside cradle. Only good for a 2 count. Gresham came charging and caught that spinning soul butt. Richards looking for the kick to the head. Gresham caught him with the enziguri. Now looking for that clothesline once again. And Richards brings him down. Now he's got the Border City stretch applied from the opposite side. And that's the left arm that he's been targeting for the entire match. You see Richards trying to put his leg in a position where he can apply more pressure. Unable to do so. Gresham lands on his feet. Able to catch the leg. Richards misses twice with a kick. And now Gresham stepping over with that half crab once again. Can he force Davey Richards to submit? And he does! What an upset! Jonathan Gresham with one of the biggest matches, the biggest victories of his entire career, coming to you from the St. Louis Sleeper Cell taping at the expense of Davey Richards. One of his final matches here in independent wrestling. And all I can say is what a match. These two are two of the very best that we have ever seen in independent wrestling.